I know a lot of you guys are going to think this is an exaggeration, but I'm promising you that I have never in my entire life while covering sports media, whether it's on my microphone YouTube channel or on my At the Flight Mic basketball channel, I have never seen a scenario like this before where a star player proclaims his intentions on national TV. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here, and real quick before we get to the content, I just want to let you guys know that I'm giving away a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes to one of my followers on Instagram. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and you've entered for a chance to win Apple AirPod Maxes. In addition to that, guys, Roger Goodell has been killing me with copyright claims, so if you could leave a like on this video so we could push it out to a larger audience, that would be swell. Now that we got all that out of the way, Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So the entire landscape of this Julio Jones situation has completely changed because up until this point, we had the assumption that the Atlanta Falcons were just listening to potential trade offers for Julio Jones. It wasn't a situation where they were out there actively seeking a trade for Julio. It was more of a situation where if the right deal was available, they would be interested in at least hearing out other teams. And the reason for this was because the Atlanta Falcons are in salary cap hell currently, and Julio Jones has had trouble staying healthy. You combine that with the fact that he's 32 years old and he is eventually due for a decline sooner rather than later, then it makes a lot of sense why the Atlanta Falcons would be trading Julio Jones or would be interested in trading Julio Jones. Now, up until this point, we thought that was all speculation. A part of me even thought that the media was really hyping up Julio potentially getting traded because the Aaron Rodgers news also was starting to die down, which, by the way, we have an update on that coming after this video. It's a crazy day for you guys, man. I have a lot of content for you guys today. So here's where everyone currently stands. The Atlanta Falcons were rumored to be interested in potentially hearing out other teams making potential trades for Julio Jones. But at the same time, a lot of us felt like that wasn't going to happen. Matt Ryan is still playing really well. Julio Jones is still Julio Jones. You'd want him on your team. They just went out and drafted Kyle Pitts. You have Calvin Ridley there as well. And you just brought in a brand new coach in Arthur Smith. I feel like the Atlanta Falcons would want to keep their offensive core together as much as they can because their offense is what they have going for them so far. They have a really good offense. It's their defense that's suffering, and if they were really due for a rebuild, if they were really planning on moving on from Julio Jones, wouldn't you think that they would also maybe draft their quarterback of the future in Justin Fields and completely tear everything down as a whole? So there's arguments for why Julio could be traded and why Julio would not be traded, and at the end of the day, I thought Julio would not get traded. That's until I heard this information here today. So let me give you some context to the situation. Do you remember yesterday when I showed you a picture of Julio Jones taking a picture with a fan and he was wearing a Cowboys hoodie while he was taking a picture with the fan? So today is Monday, and typically Skip and Shannon don't do a show over the weekend. A lot of people in sports media don't typically do shows over the weekend. Pat McAfee doesn't do it either. I think I'm the only one that could actually get you guys content over the weekend. That's one of the advantages that I have that other sports shows don't, and I guess that attributes to my relentless workaholism, but I digress. So I've never seen this before. Skip and Shannon were having their cute little argument back and forth. Skip was saying Julio Jones was bound to become a Dallas Cowboy because this man was wearing a hoodie that said Dallas Cowboys on it while he was taking a picture with a fan. I personally think that that is not going to happen because the Dallas Cowboys have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. They're already paying Amari Cooper an obscene amount of money. And if you're the Atlanta Falcons, you're not going to take back Amari Cooper's contract in a trade because you're in salary cap hell. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're not going to want to have Julio Jones and Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb on a team and give up Michael Gallup, because that's way too much money invested in a receiver core and a fairly marginal improvement, if you ask me, depending on Julio's health. Now, Shannon Sharpe, in response to this, in order to, I don't know if this was a gag, I don't know if this was planned, but he decides to call Julio Jones live on his show. And I don't know if Julio knew if he was live or not. If he did know that he was live, then good on him. But if he didn't, then this is going to look really bad on Shannon Sharpe. Check this out, guys.
We call? Okay, we're calling.
You watching, Julio?
I really hope he answers here.
Julio, have the guts to pick up the phone.
What's happening?
Yeah.
All right.
Julio. Hold on. Let me put you on. Can you hear me?
I got you. This is your favorite uncle. What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much. About to go meet up with my brother. What's happening with you?
You want to go to the Cowboys, Julio? Or you want to stay in Atlanta?
Oh, man, nah, I'm out of there, man.
You
He's
out?
out. He's out of there.
Are you going to... Ideally, where would you like to go?
Right now, I want to win.
Okay. Well, don't go to Dallas. If you go to, you ain't winning in Dallas, Julio.
Man, listen, come on, man. You already know I know.
Okay.
Can you remind him we're on television
Ask
right
him
now?
why we wore the Dallas.
Listen. You know how people is, man, with all that going on with the picture?
Yeah.
And all that, stuff like that.
Okay.
Man, I ain't never been on that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's good enough. Julio, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for calling me back. We on air, but I appreciate you calling me, dog. You know I know my nephew was going to pick up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I ain't going to Dallas, man. I never thought about going to Dallas.
Okay, I appreciate that, bro. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Now he might not have any choice.
I told you about that.
So there's two things to take from here, man. The first thing is Julio Jones comes out and says, I'm not going to go and play for the Dallas Cowboys because I actually want to win, which is shots fired at the Cowboys. But even as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm going to admit the Cowboys are more of a media circus soap opera that goes out of their way to grab headlines, as opposed to a team that is really trying their best to win a Super Bowl. And this is coming from a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm going to bag on my own team. That's at least my perception of my favorite team. So I understand why Julio is going to say that, because the Cowboys haven't really been competitive at all over the past decade. They probably had 2 seasons out of the past decade that they were truly competitive. So I respect his take there. But the even bigger situation here, the crazier thing over here, is when Julio Jones came out and said, I'm out of there on returning to Atlanta. Now, the reason why this is so crazy is because up until this point, we thought that this was just mindless, pointless little chatter that the NFL media was just trying to drum up because, hey, there's no more information in regards to Aaron Rodgers, which we did get today, but things were getting kind of slow on the Aaron Rodgers front. Deshaun Watson's situation was getting kind of slow as well. We're waiting on him to settle his cases. But Julio Jones, this is something new that we could discuss here. And the entire time, I felt like the Atlanta Falcons were probably not going to trade Julio Jones up until this point where Julio Jones came out and said that I'm out of Atlanta. So after this video got sent out, Julio Jones actually came out and provided some clarification as to his stance currently with the Atlanta Falcons. So this is according to Ian Rappaport, who says, clarity on the situation between the Falcons and Julio Jones. The all-pro wide receiver requested a trade from the organization a few months ago, and the team then agreed to listen to offers. And this is how it all began, and that's why it continues. So this is why Julio Jones said to Shannon Sharpe that I'm out of here, because he knows he requested a trade and the team is open to considering it, but it doesn't mean that he will get traded. Julio Jones has played 10 years for the Atlanta Falcons, and he's a multi-time Pro Bowler and All-Pro. So when he approached the team with his request, they treated him with the respect he deserves and agreed to be open to it. That led to a flurry of calls before the NFL draft. So Atlanta has asked teams that have inquired about Julio Jones for a first-round draft pick in return. Now, others around the league don't believe the Falcons will ultimately get a first for the former All-Pro because he's 32 years old, and how many years does Julio really have left in the tank? That remains to be seen. In terms of where he could get traded to, well, according to Adam Schefter, the Atlanta Falcons would prefer not to trade Julio Jones in the NFC, but would do so for the right price. But now, with Jones wanting out of Atlanta, they're looking for the best value in either conference. Nevertheless, this entire situation just took a wild turn, and if you guys want, I just started promoting my Discord to you guys. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. Come on by, we could get into a call and potentially talk about this information and these rumors. And of course, make sure you follow me on Instagram for a chance to win Apple AirPod Maxes and to leave a like on this video because I'm about to go back into the lab and make a video on this Aaron Rodgers situation. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.